morning, 11:30, 2024, November 30th. I wanted to post something I wasn't going to post on it originally. I wanted to get to that other series that I had talked about where we go into real grooming by the people who are actually conducting it in record numbers and under the guise of their public offices, not to mention public approbation like the vigilante groups. But we have a situation here in Virginia at a prison in the western part of the state. I think it's in Grayson County. It's called Red Onion Correctional Institute. We have six people. The original report was 10 inmates, six people in that prison who are incarcerated there who burn themselves to call attention to the abuse in the prison. There are reports coming out of this prison. It's been that way for some time. Several people dead, inmates with mental and emotional problems being whipped, beaten, kept in isolation. We have reports coming out of food being maggot ridden, and if you want to eat, you have to eat that. Prisoners being punished if they or retaliated against if they report any kind of abuse. Letters out to complain about abuse being seized. Um, Toilet water being the only water they have to drink. Um, this is really ridiculous, and it would be totally, totally suspect, maybe, if we hadn't heard from it from many, many sources, people coming out of the prison, people who have gone into the prison, people who have relatives from all walks of life at the prison. We're hearing this from multiple outlets. And finally, it's getting to the legislators. If you are in Virginia and you have a legislator, or you want to write to the governor, call the governor's office, do it. It just takes a couple of minutes. Add it to your to-do list. I'm going to do it. I've done it many times before in my capacity as coordinator of higher education for justice impacted individuals through the Virginia Community College system. It's even pervasive into the so-called education wing where people are attacking you because you have a felony. I mean, that's all there is to it because you are compromised in some way. And even on the education side, that's what they did to me. They constantly talked about how uncomfortable they were working with me and what they were really uncomfortable about. And some of these people had never talked to me. They'd gotten an email or two. And their attitude for a new position, by the way, where there weren't clear guidelines as to what was supposed to happen, except that I was supposed to try to coordinate with them, which I attempted to do. And some people simply didn't want to work with me. Now, I have advanced degrees. They ignored that. They ignored it because it was convenient. They just simply didn't want to deal with somebody who had a felony. So imagine when you have some of these places where the schools, they're working with a great deal of independence and they really don't want to help too. So it's pervasive. It's not only on the Department of Corrections side where there's shenanigans in general care. There's also limited opportunities between because of in education because of the problem working with DOC and the community college system itself. Some of that is endemic to the type of bureaucracies they have on both sides. Some of it is because of turf wars. Some of it is because educators don't really want to provide the education that they're really required to. Um, More of it, I think, is on the Department of Corrections side. But this is a huge issue and it really needs to be addressed. So please call the governor's office, call the legislature in your area, the delegate, which is the representative or the senator or both. You'll talk to their legislative aides. You won't generally talk to them unless you're one of these important people or they're running for election. Then they may stop by your house as they did with me. But talk to them and tell them the nature of the problem and that they have to get on this. And more importantly, you're watching and you vote because they really do pay attention here in Virginia to who watches and who votes. And that carries a good bit of weight. We've managed to block a number of things by talking to people face to face in January through March, going down there, talking to legislators, lobbying, etc. So I'll be doing that again this year. It needs to be done. It needs to be taken seriously, and hopefully we can get some real traction on this red onion issue and get it addressed. People need to be reassigned. They need to clean house. They need to have an overseer take personal charge of the situation and address it. Please call your local administrators, in your board of supervisors even, and let them know that this is a problem that affects their community as well. Let them know all the way up the chain of command through Department of Correction. Let them know through the advocacy groups. RIHD.com is an excellent one, RIHD.com, and some others too. And check it out. Make sure that you are really engaged in trying to make change happen for people everywhere in the prison system. We incarcerate too many people, according to the Prison Policy Institute. Too many people are not getting the care they need, and they run afoul of organizations like GEO, which cause tremendous amount of harm to families by charging them too much from various groups for phone calls, for education services, for basically entertainment that isn't improving their lives at all. They should have coursework that they can get. And I know in some quarters they are working on that so people can get a real degree. There's some better programs throughout the Commonwealth, but it's extremely uneven. And when I tried to do it at the jails, and they found out that I had been incarcerated at one point, they quickly cut communication, and my supervisors with the Virginia Community College system did nothing to back me up at all. So even though, remember, I was hired specifically because I not only had a background in education and advanced degrees, but I was just so-called, the new PC term is just as impacted. So again, please reach out, deal with the red onion situation. It deserves to be addressed. This is Norman Michaelation for the 30th day of November 2024. Hope to get to that series here soon this week. Have a good day.